Hi, I'm Ed Rushman. I was on a security panel recently that was dealing with issues around work from home security. And this wasn't really so much about, putting in multi-factor authentication and securing the VPNs and all that. It was really just anything that might be an issue. And one of the ones that I covered in my part of the panel was that when you have somebody on work from home, you really don't know who's has access to their materials. In the office, we try to get people to lock their computers when they leave their desk. But at home, we can expect that that discipline will be less. And let's take the case where there's somebody there in the same household, could be a spouse, child, friend, any number of things. It really doesn't matter. What if they're working for a competitor? What if one of the person that's on the conference call is talking out loud? I mean, what else do you do? You've got a microphone, a headset or something, so maybe they can't hear the other side. I was thinking about this because my wife has been working from home a lot of the time, and I can hear her conference calls. She puts them on speaker, and that's the way it is. And we're working in totally different businesses, so it's less of a concern that way. But it did make me think about this a little bit because I hear things that are particular to her company, and so far I haven't heard anything really juicy. And a lot of the time I actually just tune it out. I'm good at that because doing the work that I do, a lot of the time I'm privy to details or knowledge or news that I can't reveal. And there are some of those things that I just have practiced putting them out of my head. It's a habit I've developed over the years by the nature of my work. How do you secure that? And the other folks on the panel, especially the lawyers, would say, well, you have to get legal agreements. You have to get an agreement from the person that's out there that they won't divulge the company's secrets. But, that really doesn't get spelled out, that I will specifically not get on a call where somebody that's from a competing company can hear it. Maybe you think that is implied. Feel free to leave comments. Maybe you feel that's implied and that that's good enough to have a legal document. But I always feel like the best thing is to prevent the problem in the first place. And I don't really have a good solution for this. I think the situations are so unique that we just need to be aware and do what we need to do to protect our company. Obviously we have monitors, can have a screen over them that makes it so you can't see them from the side. That's fine. But if you're working from home, in the first place, if you're working from home, are you aware if there's a competitive problem in the household? And I would think that they are. And then what steps are they willing to do to cover that? Anyway, I just put this out here. Maybe you can offer some things in the comments, because it really comes down to depending on people to think of the right thing to do. I really don't expect, although it could happen, I don't expect people to be dishonest and to be listening in on their, the person that they live in the same home with or that they're visiting, and capitalize on that information. That would be unethical. But we know that people do unethical things. So again, if you have any ideas, I'd like to hear them. Mine is just to make people aware, spell it out. And I think one of the best things is, maybe the most we can do, is point it out in the security classes or materials, or even just in quarterly meetings. Spell it out to people that you could be in this position, and please secure our company's proprietary information, secure news and everything. Think about it and do what you need to do to protect the company that you work for. I do have a funny story about this. I shared this on the panel very briefly. I actually had two companies that were clients of mine at the same time. I was working with a service bureau that worked on computer-aided design. I hesitate because people don't all know what that is, but it's using computers to do the engineering designs. And they were two healthcare product companies that had competing designs. And it's long enough and far enough away from my NDA that I can tell you that they were making competing heart valves. And the only thing I could do, the best I could do for them was I had two very large computers at the time, back in the mini computer days. This was a long time ago. And I actually put them on separate computers. It was the most I could really do. We didn't really have vaults and things like that. But it's an interesting thought. There was a concern there that they didn't want to have even a wire going between the computers. So I've had to deal with it. It's an old problem trying to secure competing companies from each other when they're both your client. But in this case, in the case of work from home, you could have competing companies in the same household, and conference calls, things left on screen, probably not too much printed paper laying around, but that could happen. So maybe leave some thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks.